Hello, I am Martin Fencka and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Civilization 5 as Russia. So, the voting is over and as you can see we are not starting in any of the three locations that I showed you in the previous episode, which probably deserves an explanation. Well, it's quite simple. Like, I don't know, 5 hours, something like that, after I published the previous episode, we had a new patch. And, well, I decided to update the game. I was thinking about just keeping the previous version and go with the location that got most votes. But the main reason for this patch seems to be like fixes for technical issues that the previous version had. I was told that there were many crashes of the game. The game just crashed desktop, and of course with an unstable version I don't want to play the game. We had enough crashes in the previous series, so in the end I decided to install a new version, and it's not safe game compatible, so I had to create a new location. The location that you chose was number 3, so I tried to generate something similar to that. That was the one with jungle and the possible coastal start. Many of you said that you like the option for the coastal start, so I tried something similar. Jungle with resources in the jungle and the option to start on the coast. It doesn't look like there is any coast here, but I moved the scout to the east and there is coast here. So while of course it's not identical to what we had or to the location that won the voting, but I tried to find something similar, so I apologize for this, but I think this is the best option that I had here. It's actually funny because before I started recording the previous episode, and even before I uploaded, before I published it, before I hit the button publish, I checked, I wanted to make sure there isn't a new version. I had a feeling that there might be a new version. There was nothing as I was publishing it, so I just published it, and of course a few hours later I got the first comment, hey, there is a new version. Well, it happened. As I said, I think this is the best solution because hopefully this will allow us to avoid any technical difficulties. So you'll see how this location looks like, and of course I'll make this save file available for you guys. Actually, about save files, I probably didn't save this, so let's make sure. Not Rome, Russia, here. And I'll get rid of these two, so we'll only have one save file that I'll publish this time. Okay, so where do we go? As I said, to the east there is a coast, so that's where we are heading. You can see it here, and well, you'll see exactly where I want to start. I was hoping that we would have a coast here, and we'll be able to start on this forest hill, but if I remember correctly, there is another normal tile, so this hill is not coastal, but this hill is coastal. So you won't be starting with the like a forest or jungle hill, but we'll be starting next to a lake. There are oranges. I was hoping we would get the same luxuries. We had chocolate and how is it called now? Not spicy, cinnamon. But well, I was able to get only one of those. You'll see. You can actually end the turn. You'll see now. I was thinking about just re-rolling until I'd get like jungle start on the coast with the same resources, but I tried for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and I guess it's like close to impossible to get like almost identical start, so I just went for jungle on the coast with the decent resources around. As we move here, you can see that we have chocolate here as well. It's probably not going to be our primary resource. The main reason why I wanted to get cinnamon as the primary resource is the monopoly, because I think monopoly on cinnamon is extra culture which would help us as Russia quite a lot to start snowballing our unique ability. But well, maybe we will get more chocolate. We'll be able to get the culture from that. We'll see. Okay, next difference here is I think we'll have a little bit later start. I think we need like 1 or 2 extra turns to get into starting or onto the tile where we want to start compared to the location that we had last time. But look at that, we have extra citrus here, so we have almost enough for a monopoly on citrus. Just from our capital, all these tiles are in range. And well, +2 science is pretty damn good monopoly as well. So we won't be like snowballing from culture. Instead, we will just snowball straight up from science. Honestly, it's the same thing, because we wanted the culture to transform it into science from our unique ability. In this case, we'll be getting the science straight up, so more or less the same thing. There is some bananas there in range as well. So let's keep moving. I don't just know where I wanted to move, but whatever. Next. And of course, the plan for this episode is probably just to get our Pantheon. I'm quite curious if there's like increased priority on the early wonders. In the previous versions, the AIs didn't really care that much about Stonehenge. Now, when there are pyramids as a wonder that's available basically right away, I'm hoping that the priority on pyramids stays high as it used to be, and there is still no competition for Stonehenge, as that's what I want to go for. I'd like to get a specific Pantheon, so hopefully that, or going Stonehenge will secure the Pantheon that we want. We're definitely starting Monument here. I don't really care about religion that much, I just want the Pantheon for the early game. And then if we are forced to go for a different religion, whatever. I'm really most interested in the early game. I really want a strong early game snowball. So, the monument, and we want to grow as fast as possible. As for research, where are archers? Here. Okay, so we'll get archers pretty early. That's important. We want to, of course, take advantage of killing barbarians as we are going out authority this way. The previous series was pretty long, drawn out, and I want this series to be the opposite. I want to start my typical early game snowball that is then transferred into strong mid game, and we basically end before the AIs have time to even properly set up. I'm quite curious if it still works with the changes to how some of the military units work. Let's see what we can do. As for the research, we start with wheel, trapping calendar. We are trying to get both Stonehenge and the Temple of Artemis. Not sure about the temple, but we'll see. Then we go... we have to go pottery, trade, writing. If we want to have a chance to get the great library, we have to go this way. And the important thing is that while we are, or with the start, we do get the archers, so we can safely farm barbarians. After that, we'll see. We'll have to decide once we know how successful we are at accomplishing the plan start, then we'll decide what's gonna be next, and also we'll see who and where our neighbors are, if we are forced into some military, or if we can maybe then try to get philosophy. We'd probably go mathematics to get the composite bowman upgrade, play defensively, then grab philosophy, get the oracle, and go the all-in science start until education, and then go all in military. So we would have education, and then we would go all the way to Ostrog. We would just rush metallurgy. That's the plan for like first, I don't know, first half or more than a half of the game. Okay, so we have that. How long would it take to get the monument if we started with chocolate 40? That's 3 turns difference, and we'd get the growth delayed by 3 turns. Now we want more people. Okay, let's just turn off the yields. Next. Do we need early worker? Well, we definitely don't need an early barbarian. Okay, well, I need to make sure we don't lose too many resources to a barbarian who will start pillage our or pillage, start attacking our capital. So I'll just sit here. As I said, we don't need early workers, so we don't have to like explore right away to steal a worker from someone. Usually when you are starting like next to, I don't know, floodplains or wheat or things like that, that you can improve right away, you want to find your neighbor as soon as possible, steal their workers, start improving tiles. But here it's gonna take a long time until we can start improving anything. When the borders start growing, it's gonna be one tile here, another tile here, then the lake, then the citrus. So it's gonna, as I said, take quite some time before we can start improving anything. So for, I don't know, 100 turns or maybe even more than that, the worker would just sit here and lower our income basically. The disadvantage is that we don't weaken our neighbor this way, so they will have their like full or all the tools available for their snowball. But hopefully with the we'll be successful with the plan that we have, and it'll be better, or we'll be able to snowball harder than the AIs. I'm relying a lot on the Russian unique ability, on the extra science that we can get. They'll be able to get ahead very early. Okay, there is the second citizen. Come on, I said second citizen. Log the chocolate, that gives us, I'll check the growth. 14 isn't bad, 7 turns for the monument, more money, so we need to get to 130 as soon as possible to get the first warrior, to be able to defend the border a little bit better. I mean, the scout, scout pathfinder can hold against one barbarian as long as he's just sitting here, defending, healing every turn, but of course, when a second barbarian shows up here, we'll be in trouble. For that, we need a warrior. And of course, we need the monument. The monument will give us stacks faster. And of course, we want social policies. Again, as soon as possible, we want to get early culture from social policies. Okay. Let's just go to the other side. There is wheel. We got the wheel because we got the border growth, so plus 30 science. It actually, it seems that it scales with game speed. I thought it scaled with era, not with game speed. Because I think the tool or the description says plus 20. And we got plus 30, so yeah, I think it is increased with the game pace, which is nice, even more than I expected. Now, these two are identical, okay. 45. And we can start working on Stonehenge right away. So we should be the first save to start working on Stonehenge, I think. We have quite a lot of food, so we get the third citizen soon. How long for the border growth? 15 turns. I'd really like to get... Let's see... It doesn't matter if you get this tile or this tile. There isn't more production anywhere. Oh. But I think this one would, of course, be better for with the gold. How much money do we have? 83. I can maybe even try to get the temple in this episode. Depends on how long it's gonna take with the Stonehenge. When we get the warrior and we start exploring a little bit, it will slow the game down, especially when we start really fighting barbarians. But I think we won't start fighting barbarians until we really get trapping. I like this change because now with trapping here, if you are rushing calendar, you get access to archers much earlier than we would otherwise get them. Archers used to be here, and with this start, the focus was still the same. Instead of rushing Temple of Artemis, we used to rush pyramids that used to be here. And when you had the archer up here, you went 1, 2, 3, and then archer. In this case, it's archer from the second tag, so we'll be able to start fighting barbarians a little bit earlier. This could actually change my mind about the starting social policy. Although it's gonna take some time to like buy the archer. I'm even thinking if it might be better to save up for archer straight up and ignore the early warrior. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. What was the Pantheon? Fate Golden Age points go every time a citizen is born. Most skill with around game speed. Okay. That's not the one that I wanted, so they can have it. And there is... No, it's not the second. I thought there was a second Barbarian. It actually might be. I think this one went south. Yep, it is another one. This could actually force me into the words, into the warrior. $17. We grow in 21. If I stay here, I'm gonna take a ton of damage. Probably don't have a choice. With 7 gold per turn, and the arches are 170-ish. So by the time we get trapping, we more or less will have the money to buy an archer right away. So I think I'll try it. I'll just ignore warriors and start with archer. They'll make it easier, of course, fighting barbarians early. At least defend against barbarians. There they are. So what are we losing? Gold. Ah, no. I need my gold. We could afford to lose food. Well, that's about it. I don't want to lose anything else. Well, I guess the others have similar problems as well. The AIs kind of suck at the like defending against barbarians early. Science. Well, that's not the end of the world. I won't finish him. I'm hoping he will just retreat, and we'll be able to finish him off later when we get the social policy that gives us, I think, what is it? Science? No, not science. Culture for barbarian kills. 154, so we are almost there. It just depends if they're gonna steal some more gold for us. Okay, this one retreated, and what the hell? He attacked and took basically no damage and stole gold, of course. Well... guess I'm just gonna finish him off. We can't afford it to keep losing gold to him. It already delayed the archer by 2 turns. So how much is an archer? Yeah, 170. So if he didn't lose the gold, we would have the money to buy him now. We got the lake. Well, that's the worst option. $20 turns for calendar. And 33 turns for the border growth, but it will change soon. He's not attacking, great. So let's move the Pathfinder to the side. The style should be quite safe, and we want the archer. Keep hitting the brute, and we have 4 turns before we can get the next social policy. I'm still not sure which one I'm gonna take. Guess I'll sacrifice some early kills. I should have attacked with the archer, of course, for the experience. Well, it was a mistake. Fortify. We don't want to go outside of the city with the archer until we get the second one, I think. So I'll just sit here for some time. That should give us time to get the second social policy. So I'll start with the tradition opener. What is this? C. How many turns? 6 turns to get the... What is the wealthiest people? Okay. There's one camp. There's marble. 1, 2, 3. That's not close enough. We probably want the city here. Please don't spawn a warrior or brute on this tile. Oh, this is fine. We can now run back. There is the social policy. So we want to the tradition start for the extra culture. We have what? We have 3 people. So it's gonna be +1 culture, and we need 8 turns. So in 8 turns, actually more less than that, we all get the food. So soon it's gonna be +2 guaranteed culture every turn. And they actually added, I think, science with every social policy from tradition. So tradition is now pretty strong. For once at the challenge, you should be able to snowball like really hard with tradition with the extra science. What about progress? I think there's some changes as well, or were there? No, I didn't see anything. There are changes to authority, to tribute. Instead of getting gold and food, it now gives gold and production. And production can be transformed into food. Well, basically, when you had the food, you could transform that into production by just using the extra citizens you get from the food. You can just lock a mine, and you could, that way you transfer the food into production. But when you have production, you can transform it to food if you need that by using the extra production to rush, for example, granaries. So I don't think this is like a huge change. It will force me to change my decisions here and there, plan a little bit differently, but in the end, I don't think it changes that much. But I want to test it. Sometimes it looks different than it feels when you like use the ability. We'll go. How are we gonna do this, by the way? How much do we want to rush Imperium? We want a free settler, of course. Free settlers are pretty strong, but I still don't think they're strong enough to prioritize pyramids instead of Stonehenge. By themselves, pyramids might be better than Stonehenge. The reason why I'm going this way is that from Stonehenge we can then go stronger attacks with stronger wonders. After mining, there is really nothing left that we want to rush here. We could try to rush Statue of Zeus, but that doesn't really like develops our like production and growth capacity. With these wonders, this makes our capital much stronger, and we can catch up with the military attacks easier. So because of what the Stonehenge then transforms or transfers into, it's stronger than just pyramids that are sitting in kind of middle of nowhere where you don't have anywhere to go. And if you start mining and then go like wheel and this start that I'm doing here, you are too late. You are 1 tick too late. You can't really afford to do that. With Russia, we might be able to grab mining earlier, but it's still, I don't think you can ever get like Stonehenge and the pyramids no matter what you do, no matter which city you start with. So when I have to choose, I choose Stonehenge because it then transfers into calendar. Now, we wanted the tradition. Let's go for that. As you can see, that speeds up the border growth. That's what we are focusing on early. We have 3 turns before the Stonehenge. Please don't steal it from me. We had the start delayed by 3 turns, remember, as we are moving to the coast. So I'm not 100% sure it's guaranteed, as I don't know the priority now the guys have on Stonehenge. But it seems that we managed to get it. Okay. Pantheon. Where is it? I don't know the name, I just have to find it. There's one Pantheon that should give us bonuses when our borders grow, and our borders should be growing faster. And they are already growing 25% faster as Russia, so I want to see if I can like take advantage of this, speed up the border growth as much as possible, and if that could work. I don't know, I just want to test it. Oh, and there might be some changes. Let's actually go quickly through the Pantheons. Don't see much of a change in Spirit of the Desert, but Goddess of Wisdom is different, I think. +1 fade in a city for every 4 signs per turn it produces. That is huge. Capped at half the number of followers in the city, never mind. Whenever it's capped, it's suddenly so much weaker. Signs fighting golden edge points for every city. It's not bad. But the cap means you can't really snowball it. Goddess of the Hunt doesn't really, or isn't changed, I think. There's springtime, nothing new there. Goddess of Renewal, same thing. That would be probably my option if we were not playing Russia. We would already have 2... both forest tile, so we'd already be getting +1 fate and culture. And if we get the where it's the other one there, come on, the Pantheon, no, not Pantheon, Temple of Artemis. If we get the Temple of Artemis, we would also get Herbalist, so we'd be getting the full bonus in our capital pretty early. But as I said, that's not what I want to do with Russia. There's a protection. That's the same. There's a nature, fate, gold, food for mountains, natural. That's the same. Goddess of festivals. I want to test this one at some point with Netherlands. Goddess of fertility. That's the one, right? No, it's faster growth rate. You don't want faster growth rate. Goddess of beauty. Still the same. Where the hell is it? Here, growth expands. 25% faster border growth. Gain fate and production every time a city expands its borders, naturally scaling with game speed. I was thinking about testing this one a couple of times before, but I think Russia is like the ideal civ to test it. It in the end, well, it falls off pretty quickly, I think, as we progress through the game, but it should just give us a lot in the early game. So we are growing in 12 turns. Now we are growing in 2 turns. Holy crap! Did I miss anything? No, it's just faster border growth. How the hell did it reduce the growth by 10 turns? Okay, I'll take it. Still need 10 turns to finish calendar, so we can use the time to... We could either get a second archer, which would be ideal, or we can get a shrine. If we want to get a religion, I think we need to get shrine here. Even with the bonus that we'll get from the Pantheon, I think it's not enough. And how long until we get the next social policy? 15 turns. That's great. So in 15 turns, we'll be able to take advantage of the authority opener. How much money we'll have in 15 turns? In 10, it's going to be plus 60, plus 90. So not quite enough to get the second archer. I may actually go warrior second to get the second proper unit earlier, and we would start like running around with the warrior and archer killing barbarians. They'll make us enough money then to rush a second archer. I think that's the play. Next. Actually, wait, we'll get the calendar faster with the next border growth. We should finish it. Still forgetting about the extra signs that we go from border growth. Which one do we get now? This one, and we have 5 people. Did I forget to log something? Oh, we are working the tile that I would work anyway, so it's fine. And did we get it? No, not yet. So I guess we'll just delay the temple by a turn. Finish the shrine. It's lined up quite well. So may as well. And the how much was that? 50 production that we get from the Pantheon helped to line up everything better. Let's get the kill. Hey, Inca. He has ivory, so we could come with, where are they? With war elephants. Actually, not sure if I made the right choice with the first social policy, but I guess because of the growth, it was the better option. If I knew that we would have like this regular or this stream of barbarians coming to us regularly, to maybe, come on, maybe consider the authority opener to get the culture from kills. No, I think the food that we get from tradition right away is stronger. Next. I still don't want to give them access to the capital, so I will sit here until we get another unit. There is calendar. So is it 1 turn? Yeah, it is 1 turn. Keep shooting. Next. Actually, I'm not sure that we can even start in the temple. Yeah, we are missing a second social policy. I just realized. Oh, that means we can go for archer. That lines up well. Okay, and then we buy the warrior. That's perfect. We killed this one. That means there should be another camp somewhere that we can clear. Pantheon. Inca managed to get God of Commerce. +1 fate in the city for every 5 gold per turn it produces. Kept half the number of followers, +2 fate and gold in the city for city connections. Okay, so this takes some time to really kick in. Hopefully, we'll be able to get rid of him before he really can take advantage of it. Next. Now we should get extra culture, I think. We are at 6. Now we are at 7, yeah. Oh, Barbarian's coming from all sides. Okay, so usually I'd go Barrage, but with this new patch, when I think the priority on logistics is much lower, I'll go Accuracy for indirect fire and extra range. Oh, we can't finish him off. Whoops. That's unfortunate. How the hell did he survive? Well, he's fortified, so I guess that was enough. The Pathfinder is still fine. He's still like fighting 1 unit every turn. Let's finish off this one. We need 1 more turn, then we can buy the warrior. Another Pantheon. We have what, 2 turns. So at this point we want to delay the kill. What's this one? Oh, hello. So we have Bodica in the game. She took Bran, plus 50% increased range, combat strength, road, plus a culture when a citizen is born, skill with era, fate from their unique building. Yeah, she'll be quite strong. Depends on her neighbors. I think that's the same Pantheon that Bodica took in the previous series. And well, her mid game wasn't that strong. When she got to the late game, she started catching up. So hopefully on a smaller map, you'll be able again to just get rid of her before she gets to the snowballing part. One more turn. Yep, we'll wait for that. Keep hitting this guy. I really want to finish the archer. Well, we still have to wait, so I don't really have a choice. Fortify. Next. Another Pantheon. Go to war. There's the archer. So we start with authority open. Let me just check. Justice. Don't think there are any changes to either justice or sovereignty. Okay. Yes, please. 32. 31. Well. $29. There we go. So now we can switch to the temple. 23 turns isn't bad. And we don't have to worry about herbalist because we should get it from the temple if we get it, of course. And with 6 citizens, how long until our borders grow? Next turn. And it will be the citrus. So let's play one more turn. Anything important? Nope. There's pottery. We are growing it what in 14. He'll heal up. And I think just get rid of the Barbarian here and move the warrior with the archer north to get out of this camp. We start clearing the area around our capital. Now, what do we go for next? When we finish the temple, we will have some time when we won't really have much to do. So that will be the time when we build a couple of settlers. Well, there'll still be granary, there'll be a market available, but I think we want those settlers. So we'll get 2 settlers probably. Our 3rd settler will come from Imperium. I'll still have to decide if I want to rush Discipline or if I want to rush Imperium. If you want to test Tribute properly, I should probably get it as soon as possible. So maybe that will be like deciding reason why I go for Imperium first. I like the extra science from Dominance, but this is a less of a or less important for Russia since we are getting extra science somewhere else. And if we want to get even more science, this could cause problems because we would start researching texts faster than we can use them. The heal from kills would be nice in Dominance. I think we can wait. Yeah, we will go Imperium. So the extra culture from Discipline will have to wait. I'm just checking if I missed anything. I don't think so. So for now, everything is going as planned, I would say. In the next episode, as I said, we'll see if we can get the temple, and we'll try to make it to Great Library. As usual, the problem with Great Library is that when you get the tag, you very rarely have the social policies. So we'll see how much we'll be slowed down if we'll be able to get the library. And by the time we get there, we should have enough units to explore a little bit, and we'll see if we have the time to go philosophy or if we have to go. I'd probably go, let's see. I wanted to say ironworking, but we may still just go mathematics and rely on composite bows with our defense. And that would allow us to rush philosophy no matter how the map looks like. We would really have to get like super strong early warmonger that would force me to change my plans and go for like let's say bronze working to see iron, and with that potentially for swords. But as I said, we'll see about that. We are done with this episode. So I hope that you liked it, and once again I apologize for the last minute change with the starting locations, but yeah, I really think this was the best option. And as usual, I hope that you're gonna join me for the next episode again. Until then, have a good time. Bye bye.